Hi there, good evening. Welcome back to another edition of the weekly Roundup. I almost forgot what it was called there for a second. I'm Mike.
I'm Erin.
And this is our Wyoming Life. We made it just in time. We had a little bit of excitement just before we got...
You were in trouble.
I was in trouble. Erin took this picture about, 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
As I was standing right next to Eli, who's our new highway patrolman out here, just fresh out of the academy.
He's very young.
Very young.
Thank you, Eli.
But Erin cut him out of the picture because we didn't have time to ask his permission if he wanted to be in the picture. So Erin cut him out of the picture. But what we had going on was that we had a bull that decided to go chase some green grass, and that was out in the ditch. And
he just wanted to go for a walk.
he did. And Eli actually handled it really well. He did say that in the police academy, they don't really teach you how to deal with livestock.
No, he did perfect.
Yeah, he just sat there and watched him. That's all you have to do. He'll hang out and eat in the ditch all day long. So
I frantically tried to open a gate before I got charged by a bull. And there was also one in the field that was giving me the eye.
giving you the stink eye?
And I yelled at him.
I think honestly, when, so I got a call at, 5 or 5,
I don't know.
like 6:30, like a half an hour ago.
Yeah.
I got the original call. We had it handled, taken care of within
I think
15, 20 minutes.
You talked to Eli longer than
It did.
it took to get the bull back in.
Yeah, he actually said, well, that was really smooth. I said, the bull knew he was in trouble.
He knew right where to go.
He knew where to go. So anyway, that was exciting. I did not have time to change, so I'm wearing my Our Wyoming Life sweatshirt, which you can get online at ourwyominglife.com, and you can order them there on our website if you like it. I like the new logo.
I do too.
It's a lot more colorful. It took me a while to get used to it because I'm not a big fan of colors because I think colors are for hippies. But it took me a little while, but it does have, it has green and red, and obviously you guys can see it. If you're watching this in color, and if you're watching this in black and white, let me know, and I'll see what I can do about getting you a color monitor. Yeah, so the colors kind of took a little bit to grow on me, but
It is a big logo and it is colorful. I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry. It's really, really loud.
that was really loud for me. Are you okay?
Yeah.
I think I saw your brain come out a little bit. Kind of bulged out your ears, and that looked painful.
Excuse me.
But it was funny that the highway patrolman actually knew who we were, so that helped out a little bit too. So Wyoming is a fence-out state, so
Highway maintains that fence.
yeah, that's the highway's
That's
fence.
YDOT.
So-
YDOT, you got some fence to fix.
Actually, Eli called the state and said, "Come fix this fence because it's ridiculous
bad.
with all the snow that we've had, and then of course as wet as it is, that fence actually sits down in a little bit of a shallow draw, and there's been some of the fence getting pulled down and everything else. So anyway, enough with that. Tonight, here is our plan. We have coming up tonight mail call, which I kind of this whole bull thing screwed me up. I was going to grab something from the shop and bring it up here for a mail call that I wanted to show you guys. Instead, we'll have to tell you about it. But
Was it?
the sign from Alfie, I was going to grab that sign, and it's huge. You sent me a picture of it, but no, I cleaned all the pictures off my phone.
Oh, my phone's downstairs.
So we're going to have to show you next time.
Is it not in the text messages?
Oh, it might be. Oh, you know what? I might be able to do. Let's see. I'm going to sit here and look at my phone while we do this. But one thing I do want to talk about today, too, is that we have some new mods. I don't think I told you about this.
No.
We have two new moderators.
Hey, we have one, Tractor Man PJ.
Tractor Man PJ is a brand new moderator here with us. And the reason that we have a couple extra moderators to keep us all in line is, there it is right there, because we're growing, obviously, and the more action that we have going on, the more that these moderators have to do. And what really kind of that impresses me about the moderators is they don't get to watch the live stream. Well, every one of them tells me I go back and watch it later because they're so busy keeping track of comments and keeping people in line and cracking the whip and texting me that they just don't have time to watch the show, so they come back and watch it later. So the new moderators, welcome to a life of hell.
Lori's a moderator too. Hi,
yes,
Lori.
Yes, Lori is our new moderator along with Tractor Man PJ. And you might remember Tractor Man PJ. I met him in Indiana.
I don't remember.
He's the one. Now this is a funny story. In the video, I said his name was Josh. It's not Josh. It is John. So everybody say hi to John, and be sure not to call him Josh. And I called him and apologized up and down about that. I actually did feel really bad about it. So anyway, tonight our plan is we've got mail call coming up. I'll show you a picture of what Alfie sent us, as I can't show you the real thing since I left it in the shop.
We were eating dinner, and like we kind
we
of
were-
have a routine of like how we get ready for live stream, and there's always last minute gathering and stuff, and
Luckily, I actually came up here and set everything up way ahead of time. And there were some folks here hanging out in the corral, and I was hanging out with them while I was setting out. But also tonight, we have a brand new armchair rancher coming up for you. And we thought we'd kind of let you guys take the lead here. And this episode, we haven't done it in a while, and we figured we just kind of do a Q&A and talk about what we have going on. First of all, I'd like to tell you about our sponsors for tonight. Tonight's show is being brought to you by our mystery sponsor. It's a product so good that they're actually paying us to make sure that nobody associates it with our Wyoming Life. So that is our sponsor for today. Also, another portion of the show being brought to you by the best things in life, which everybody knows are free, except, of course, shipping and handling. So as we move...
And license and registration.
And license and registration. Yeah. So as we move through this evening, feel free to throw up your questions. Thank you, Southern Farm and Kitchen, the $10
Yes,
super
you.
chat. Erin, the Malibu is on me. How much Malibu are you planning on drinking?
It's pretty cheap. That'll
$10
buy a small bottle. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Straws are on me. Erin actually cut a straw in half today.
Well, it's like so big, and so I cut one in half. So now I have two straws.
I was going to say, did you throw away the other half? No.
It actually would be nice if it was a little longer, but now I have two straws.
Maybe the other one's a little longer.
Well, maybe.
Did you cut it right down the middle? Did you
I tried
measure
to.
it?
No, I eyeballed it.
Oh, well, there you go.
I don't measure.
Calving's still rolling right along. Baby count is right about 110, right in there, something like that. Last time that I looked at the numbers, I don't actually, keep them numbered, so I have to go back and count how many I have on each sheet when I'm doing it. So it's right around there, 110 or so. I think I'm on sheet number 32 per sheet. Yeah. So yeah, something like that. So feel free to ask us any questions. As we move through this. How was your week, by the way, with all the snow and
it's been like such a weird
horribleness?
week and like very unproductive.
Yeah.
It's just been, the kids had a 2-hour delay of school yesterday, which I've seen some discussion about, like, it's not uncommon to have snowstorms this time of the year. Yeah, that's absolutely true. I don't think I've ever experienced a snowstorm.
You made that. Hi.
I told you I put a lot in there. And you didn't fill it up with 7-Up. I've lived in Wyoming most of my life. I've seen May snowstorms that have like closed school and stuff. Not so much this late in the year.
So they said it's been 44 years
Yeah.
since we have had snow this late in May.
Yeah.
So.
And I've never, people are always like, it can snow in July. Like, I've never seen it snow in July. I've seen it frost in August in like low-lying areas. I've seen plenty of snow in September. Mm-hmm. I've never seen snow in June, July, or August. But frost definitely can happen, but not snow. Mm-hmm. So I remember when I was in high school, we had a really big snowstorm in May that closed school, but it was more so like towards the beginning or the middle of May. It wasn't so late. So, we're sending our kids to school tomorrow for the last day of school, and there's snow on the ground. Like, that's insane.
Yeah,
like, I don't care where you live. Like, that is some craziness. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow is their last day. They have early release, so they're done early mid-afternoon. So.
Right.
Yeah, I have never seen snow this late. So, thank you, Ralph, for the $9.99 on the mail call logo. Where was the background picture taken?
Actually, I'm not really sure what logo you're talking about, Ralph. If you're talking about the
thumbnail from today.
The thumbnail from today, I would have to remember what the thumbnail was. I would have to know that.
Picture. Somewhere out there.
Yeah.
Somewhere out.
Usually, we get a little artsy fartsy occasionally, and take a picture that never makes it to Instagram or makes it to Facebook. So we end up banking that away and using it somewhere. So, yeah, I'm a little frazzled right now.
I know you're a little.
I don't like going out and chasing cows and then running around and being all crazy and then having to come in and sit down and chat.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You handled the bull situation well. You just have to go fix the fence more.
Yeah.
Mail call with the jackalope carrying the mail. Mm. Do you know where that was at?
Yeah, that's the thumbnail for today, and honestly, I couldn't tell you. Somewhere around here. So it's the best I can do. From John D4, you guys are the best, especially because you guys actually respond to people's comments and emails. We try. It's not easy. I tell you what.
Yeah,
we get
hard.
a ton of emails. We get a ton of comments. We get a ton of Facebook stuff. People tend, and so the easiest way to have me not answer what you're going to send me is get cranky because I don't answer it fast enough. That's one of the things that really does bug me, is where people get cranky because I'm not on, answering fast enough. I get to stuff eventually. There is a lot of stuff I miss, trust me. So, I mean, I like to answer comments. I like to make sure that I answer, each person's comment at least, once. So if it's a new person, I'll definitely try to answer that comment.
It
A lot
just
of times what
depends
happens,
what's going on though. Like the video today that came out, like you really haven't had a chance to answer.
I think I've answered like 5 comments on
Yeah.
that video from this morning.
So tonight you'll go back and we try and go through them like after. It depends what's going on really, and like obviously we kind of have like a mental list of like what is priority and stuff, and our family and our kids are always of course number one, and making the videos is really high up on the list, and then things just kind of like work their way down. So a lot of times it can be late at night before we get to the comments, and I won't lie, there's been plenty of nights that I'm like my eyes are sandpaper and I can't. There's how many pages? Like you just at some point have to. As much as we'd love to answer every single one, sometimes we just have to give it up because you guys there's just too many of you anymore, and we appreciate that.
It is awesome.
But we just can't do it anymore.
Being able to, and and we have help from people that that can help us prioritize stuff, and even they don't get paid anything for helping us out, and that's the people you'll see them at the end of the live stream here, that we call them the barn owls. They're the ones that are able to help us out here and there, and they don't get paid for it, but they're right there willing to help us too. So it's a great retirement plan. Come and work for our Wyoming Life for nothing.
Free.
You got your retirement, you're good to go. So
thank you, Billy Higgins, for $10. Thank you for all you do. We appreciate it. Thank you for watching. We greatly appreciate it. We wouldn't be here without you guys. So
yeah, exactly. From Lindsay Collins, how many bottles do you feed the bottle calves in a day? You showed 2 in the morning. Yeah, we usually feed two at a time. Now they're starting to get into the into some corn and oats and barley, a little bit of that, and some creep. So we'll actually start backing that off now. They're actually only getting that twice a day. Lunchtime we kind of leave them on their own. So we're trying to get them to move into a more solid food and eating hay and stuff like that. The other night when I was out recording for the update video, which came out this morning at 4 o'clock, because I finished it this morning at 1 o'clock. It came out at 4 o'clock. I was out checking cows, and there was cows that were out there eating hay, and you never know if they're actually eating hay or if they're just like imitating mom.
I love it when they get a piece of hay like in their mouth, like they're like chewing on a piece of straw. It's cute.
Yeah, they look like they're straight out of hee-haw. So.
Essentially, yeah. All right, reading for comments.
Taking a drink. You read, I'll drink. Yes, be sure to subscribe, obviously, and hit that like button, because that actually does help us out. Thank you, Off Grid Bear, for reminding me of that. We're horrible about reminding people to hit that like button and subscribe. Yeah. So any help that you can give us there definitely helps us out as well.
We had some lengthy discussions today about calls to action and how we're horrible at them. And you might get annoyed with hearing us say subscribe, but we're going to make it more of a priority to tell people subscribe.
The funny thing is that if you don't tell people to subscribe, they don't. And 60% of the people that watch our videos don't subscribe, which amazes me. So we're making it our personal mission to say, hey, let's make that 59% instead of 60%. So, oh, there we go, Bonsoir. Oh. From Alabama, from Steve. Thank you, Steve. Steve sent us some really nice cigars that I was going to put into the into mail call, and I didn't because they are humidifying, and they're staying, they're cigars. So it's
very swampy here in Northeast Wyoming right now.
It is swampy. If you haven't had a chance to check out our webcam, you can go to our website, ourwyominglife.com, and now you can actually view the webcam for free.
Because our website crashed and died.
So we started out, we did this webcam exclusively for Patreon supporters. All you had to do was support us for $1 a month. You got a password, and you were able to view the webcam. That software that we use to secure that site, with a password, ended up crashing our website. So we end up
until we get some new stuff, everybody gets the webcam for now.
Yeah.
It will go back on a password once we work that issue out.
Yeah, probably. And we're planning on adding new other cameras and stuff like that too, as we can afford it. So yeah, that is the webcam. But that's what I was going to say. Out there, you can obviously see how wet and swampy it is. Yeah, it's very and it's muddy. Obviously,
So
you can see where I've been driving through with the tractor. I don't know why I moved the mouse around like this because nobody can see it. I'm like what's his face?
That's buffering.
It's buffering.
How awkward.
What's his name? John Madden. You know, with the I need that drawing on the screen thing, and I can be like, you know, this guy over here. If he gets into the end zone, that'll be a touchdown.
Yeah, look how swampy it is.
It's horrible. I don't know where the end zone is out there, but it's bad. So, yeah, we have plenty of water. So
it's I don't know when I'm going to get in the garden. It's supposed to rain tonight. It's supposed to rain significantly on Monday.
Mm-hmm. We have an inch of rain on Monday. They're pretty close to it.
The grass needs mowed, but there's still snow. So
yeah, and as you can see, I mean, in the camera there, everything's pretty much melted off now.
Yeah, there's some drifts, of course.
They said pretty much where you were at in the county, you got between 6 and 8 inches of snow out of this last storm, and it took hours for it to melt away.
I mean, literally by like 11 o'clock yesterday, like the grass was poking through in the yard just because the ground is warm. So the sun came out for, I don't know, about till like 10 or so this morning, and then it's been.
It was weird. I
since.
woke up and the sun was shining.
I know. I was
through
like,
the
oh
window.
my gosh,
Yeah.
thank God, the sun's back, and then it disappeared again on us. So. Yeah. Yeah, Christy, it will help the hay. We just need warm temperatures and sunshine now. And we'll need continued rain. Like, we're good for a couple weeks. It could not rain for a couple weeks and we're fine. But we've got to make it through the end of June with you know, we need a couple more rainstorms. So we got another month. We need sunshine.
If we had an inch of rain a week.
Yeah, but we're good for like 2 weeks.
Well, we're good for 2 weeks, but and then we had warmth and sunshine to make that grass grow. We've ran into the situation before where we had lots of rain, and then the grass but we didn't get that sunshine, we didn't get that heat, so the grass grew a foot tall, maybe a foot and a half, and then it stopped and it headed out and it said, "Pooh, we're done."
Yeah.
So that can happen too. We want the height though. That's kind of what we're going for. So for sure. JB Weld, is cattle rustling still a thing out west? Serious question. Is that why people still brand? It has a lot to do with branding. In fact,
branding's also very much like tradition.
Yeah, it's very much tradition. It's also used for tracking purposes, that they can track that cow all the way through the food chain. But talking to Eli, the highway patrolman that was just here, he was telling us about brand inspector, that his job, and he's based out of Casper, I think he said, and his job is that he still investigates cattle rustling. I haven't seen it, but that's part of his job. He's an armed law enforcement officer. He's a brand inspector, and he chases around rustlers here in Wyoming. So
it does
be an
happen.
interesting guy to try to get on the show.
Oh yeah. I see it a lot too, like I'm part of some agriculture Facebook groups like in Wyoming, and horses too can be, it's I would say maybe I don't know that it's more common than cattle. It just maybe gets a little more publicity when it's horses that are stolen, but it does. People do steal livestock. It is a reality. The tradition of branding, though, and that gathering of your neighbors and the agriculture community and ranchers helping ranchers, and you know. And
vaccinations and everything else.
Yeah, you got to vaccinate. You got to,
castrate and all that kind of stuff.
We're going to do pour on our cows, but and as old school as it is, the men working the cattle, the women making a meal, like that is a tradition that happens year after year for families and neighbors. And, some people just have we don't do a lot of brandings with other people. We've done some in the past, but there's always people that come and help our branding. And
what I love about our branding is the fact that nobody that comes to help us brand is a rancher.
I know, we're like the misfits.
We are we are very much the misfits. In fact, if you happen to have been in Indiana for the speech that I gave to the FFA there, I did talk about how we are the misfits of Campbell County. But
there's people that
we have people that
this weekend it's this family and this weekend it's this family, and they just make this circuit and stuff, and it's just a really cool tradition. We've gone to some brandings where they do the fire and the iron and horses, and it's neat. That's not the system we do because Gilbert didn't want to do that. So
Gilbert wanted to use the branding. I mean, and that's what it comes down to, is what we were brought up into.
Yeah.
So
and we call our city friends to come and help us.
We have friends that are
like
train engineers, and Nick,
never
who's an
helped
electrician.
he never helped brand cattle until like we're like, hey, you want to come help? And yeah, you can push some calves. So it's fun. It's our friends. It's our agriculture community, and we like it.
We do. Have you guys ever had a year where you did not have to buy hay? Jeffrey, yeah, we have.
Yeah, lots of years. This last 6 years is an anomaly. Like
what?
an anomaly. No.
It's
It's abnormal.
An anemone? Anemone? Is that where's the clownfish live? They live in the anemones.
Anemones,
Anemone. Oh, that's funny.
How do you spend the holiday weekend? Working.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it's going to go. The other thing that gets stolen around here a lot is hay. There's a lot of hay theft that happens because you see farmers, they'd pack up hay or stack up hay somewhere, and somebody will come along and with a tractor and just grab a bale of hay from somebody else and take off with it.
I mean, our hay, like, don't do this, but like, it'd be super easy to come by and steal one bale at a time. Like, you'd never know.
I never know. Yeah, don't do that though.
Don't do that.
I will catch you eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
All right, so we're cruising right along here. Ethan, please, can I ask you a question? That is the first time I've ever seen that in a live stream. Ethan, please ask us a question. I would love for you to ask us a question. While we're waiting for you to ask us a question, we'll answer a couple other ones too. I did see Josh, Stony Ridge Farmer, was here for just a little bit. He kind of took off, but we don't have any plans for the holiday weekend.
We're going to work in the store tomorrow, and we got a little road trip on Sunday, and you're going to make a video, and we're going to work on the store on Monday.
Yeah, Erin wants to have that store open here pretty soon. So.
I wanted it open next week, but it's not going to happen. So, yeah, no, we're just going to keep working on the store. Like, next week is it's going to take a priority, and yeah, we're just pushing. Every day that we're not making videos, like, we're working in the store.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the push right now. Yeah, it is what it is. We're getting through the store. We made some good progress. Nick, our electrician's on vacation, so when he gets back, but we've got more work to do before he comes back. But it depends. It's like a race to finish the electrical work. Like, will we get all the stuff done that we can before Nick gets back?
We better. Ethan asked if we go to fairs for cows. Actually, we don't. If you're talking about buying cows, we usually buy from neighbors, bred heifers, that kind of thing from other producers. So we usually don't go to fairs for that type of thing. All right, it's 7:23 and we're running. We've been yammering on here for quite a while, and there's probably people that are sitting around going, "Hey, what about that armchair rancher thing?" So let's fire that up. Maybe. My mouse is like
wrenching from his keyboard. He doesn't even have to move. He's the armchair wrencher, and he already knows more than you.
Hey gang, it's me, the armchair wrencher, wrenching right here from keyboard and monitor. I've been watching the weather in Wyoming here lately. Yeah, it's not nice. But that doesn't mean that you can't do your job. You have to get out and do it. But you don't have to get out and do it. Today, it's all about technology. And why can't you just fly your drone out and check the cows? Just like I'm doing right here, out flying my drone around and checking things out. Mom, we need a new drone.
What? Are you kidding me? Boy, I am not buying you another drone.
Oh,
you
well.
need to get off your lazy, godforsaken...
He's the armchair wrencher, and he already knows more than you.
You okay? So the joke is that I do have people that tell me that I need to go out and check cows with the drone. And the funny part about it is this week, the drone took a crap on me, and I couldn't fly it but 20 feet away, and then it would lose connection, and it was just a horrible week for the drone. I couldn't have checked our dog in our backyard with the drone that I have. So when I ask for a new drone, that may be something that's coming eventually, just to warn you.
Good
Are you
for-
okay?
Good for you. You can get a job. You and that armchair rancher, maybe you can split one.
Is that your real mom voice?
I don't know what my no. You altered my mom voice.
I did. I played with the voice in the.
I love how mom's voice is different in every.
So is the armchair rancher's voice, really. If you go back and listen to them back to back, I think the voice is a little bit different in each one. One time he had a southern accent. Yeah, so it's. Yeah.
That horse dismount is a little it's a little tuck and roll.
Tim England, the store is a great idea, but you need a building that's 3 times what you have. I don't know. I mean, we don't go overboard right off the bat, obviously.
I mean, that's the size that, there's payments attached to that building. So we're on a budget and
we're ballers on a budget.
yeah. And like at Market, it was really difficult to use like my vertical space just because you didn't have walls.
Yeah, it is funny. At Farmers Market, our booth was actually smaller than what that building is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and granted, like I'm gonna have fridges and freezers and stuff in there, whereas that stuff was like in the truck. But I have all my wall space, and I actually spent the afternoon looking for shelving and wall display units and stuff. So we're gonna utilize. Floor to ceiling is going to be utilized. I've got stuff for lower shelving. I've got some wall display stuff coming. Bookshelves type thing, floating shelves. It's going to be a hodgepodge of like rustic. So it's kind of fun. Like I was looking on Amazon and, it's just like, if I like this shelf, cool. Like I don't care so much that everything like matches because I want it to be that very like farm store like feel. So yeah, it was just like, I like this shelf and I like this one and this one's a different color. And yeah, so I hope it all comes together.
What is the armchair rancher's preferred beverage? I think it's probably Mountain Dew. Yeah, probably. Mountain Dew, Doritos, and Ho-Hos and Little Debbie's fudge creams and whatever else
Little
is
Debbie
out there.
birthday cake. Lincoln today. I want one of my birthday cakes.
Don't give them to that guy. Yeah, that's crazy. So we're cruising right along here, and we are now going to move into a little segment we like to call Mail Call. But first, we have a $20 super chat from JB Weld
Thank
for the
you.
store. Erin, make me some kale.
Mail me some kale
mail
someday.
me some
It's
kale.
gonna get all wilty.
You do have kale. When Erin was when we did the getting ready for the storm video, and Erin was going through the tunnel, showing everybody, how you
Yeah.
prepared, and she said, "There's kale down here," and I said, "Nobody cares about the kale. We don't need to see the kale." All right,
Thank you, JB Weld.
it's mail call time.
There is a lot.
There is a lot now. So
Try and breeze through this as quickly.
since we
but-
started this new format deal, we decided we couldn't do mail call every single week. We might have to step it up and actually do it every once in a while, though, because you can still send us stuff to mail call. We split up the license plates and regular mail call, except for I'm totally going to lie and say, no, we didn't. But you can still send us letters, postcards, that kind of thing, to our post office box 667, Gillette, Wyoming, 82717.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll be sure to get your stuff up here for you. First of all, I wanted to show this last week, and I didn't get a chance.
You're
So,
just like the theme is like just forgetting stuff.
well, I remembered this week, see. This is a license plate that was actually given to me by the FFA kids in Indiana, where I went and visited. And they all signed it. They had a nice little note on the back that made me cry. And this is going to go up on the wall. It didn't make me cry, but it made Tammy cry. And then, of course, they gave me a very cool shirt, too, that they signed that I can never wear.
Yeah.
So I guess
it's
this will
neat.
go on the wall, too, maybe. All right,
What wall?
moving right along. You're going to make me go fast here, aren't you? This one's yours. That one came while I was in Indiana, actually, because you sent me pictures of
Yeah. This is neat.
some of this stuff. So, first of all, who's it from?
Oh, it's from Ashley and Jace Huff in Bondurant, Iowa.
There you go. We have Lego,
Yeah.
our Wyoming Life characters, which is kind of cool. We have the cow, which has horns, but I can pull it really quick with a pair of side cutters.
They sent some GoPro mounts, which is great. Just some GoPro like camera accessories, which is always good. Some stuff for the kids, some horses.
Lego Erin. Where's your
Where's my hair?
Oh, there it is. Lego Erin is bald.
A dinosaur for Lincoln, because he
I
likes
didn't know that.
dinosaurs and horses for the girls. And then, yeah, just more camera,
Put that here.
GoPro
Yeah, so Lego Erin.
accessories.
We'll just, yeah.
These are super cute. Like, I set them up and sent you a picture. I was like, look at the Legos we got.
And Lego me.
Focus.
You see the resemblance? Maybe. Focus.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like you. And a bottle opener keychain. Yeah, I mean,
I'll let him sit on my shoulder. I wonder if he'll do that.
so thank you guys.
I have to glue him there.
I've hidden these from the children, but now we can let them play with them.
Should I glue this on my shoulder?
Yeah, that's going to be super practical. Good point.
Guest that we have coming up on the live stream here, not before too long, is I totally forgot her first name. Claudia Hauser, country music artist. She's up and coming. She actually has her own line of coffee.
Yeah.
And she sent us some of her coffee, and she will be joining us here before too long on the live stream. Not today, but soon.
This is from Alfie. I ripped his note, but I put it back together. Right down the center, I ripped it. Thank you, Alfie.
Alfie is in
And
New Zealand.
this for the farm store. So along with all of our wonderful products, we're going to have some decor. So thank you,
Alfie's
Alfie.
wife, Carol, is actually in the hospital.
I hope she gets better,
So
Alfie.
he said that if we showed this stuff, it might lighten her mood a little bit. So Alfie also made us a really cool sign that I left down in the...
Oh, goodness. Oh, gosh. You're so bad at this. Right there.
Just hold it like that. Nope. Ah, this is horrible.
You just give it to me.
My life is a wreck.
Fix it for you.
You can't do it. You can't do it either. Do it. Make it happen. Ha-ha. See? All right.
Why do you have the rotate on your
I don't
pictures?
know. Look it. Give me my phone. Don't you hate it when somebody else messes with your phone? It's like, give me that.
We're
You
married.
don't know
I
what you're
mess
doing.
With your phone.
You don't know what you're doing. Okay, there
Literally
we go.
the same thing as my phone.
So made us a very cool sign that you probably can't see very well.
Yeah.
And I should have brought it in, but I didn't have a chance. So it's a big sign.
It's big.
So thank you very much for that, Alfie.
Yes, thank you.
Also, mail call this week. Ooh, that pouch is empty.
All right.
We flip over to the other side. That.
Oh, yeah.
Pecans from Georgia. Pecans from Georgia.
From Kenny Trussell. Some honey toasted. Do you guys say pecans or pecans? Pecans. Which one is it?
Pecans? I call them pecans. Nuts.
Georgia nuts. Thank you.
I also have a note here from Barbara Tachert in Norfolk, Virginia. Enjoying your videos, learning a lot. You two are the best. You know, sometimes just a little note is
we
kind of
appreciate
nice
those.
too. So
Kenny also sent a bunch of
Oh.
like Georgia agriculture magazines.
and some anemones. Okay. From Ruth in St. Clements, Ontario, we got a bunch of stuff. Pictures from them, which is really cool. I like seeing
Yeah.
pictures from subscribers. And some bookmarks some for the kids. A nice note. Thank you very much, Ruth.
Yeah. This was cool.
So this one confused me because Erin was actually with the governor's wife
Yeah, the day
when
that
she
I
sent
got
me
that.
this. So I thought this came from the governor's wife.
Yeah, because they have a security detail.
They had the security, their Secret Service or whoever they have. I think
like
theirs
Wyoming
are
security.
state cops. But I thought this came from her. But this was actually sent to us by somebody with the United States Secret Service.
Mike and Linda, I don't know how to say your last name, Miss Scaloni. Their son is in the Secret Service.
And Mackenzie's been collecting patches.
Yeah, so yeah, we've been asking for police patches occasionally for Mackenzie. So yeah, that's a Secret Service one. Yeah, it is their son graduated Kemmerer High School, which is in Wyoming. Went to undergrad at UW in Wyoming and Laramie. Got his law degree at UW Law School. He decided he wanted to go into federal law enforcement and is a special agent for the U.S. Secret Service. So thank you, Mike and Linda. We appreciate that. I was like, this is a neat one.
This is a new one. And then you've got a mess of these
Oh, some seeds.
sent to us
yes.
from Benjamin in Chattanooga, Tennessee. A bunch of seeds, which will definitely come in handy. So thank you, Benjamin,
all kinds
very
of
much.
Different, just seeds, garden seeds. So I will be planting some of these. So thank you very much. Oh,
That is the end of mail call for this installment. Thank you very much to everybody who did send us packages. If we missed your stuff, I apologize. Maybe we can get to
I
it
feel like
next
there's
time.
more, but yeah, I mean,
There probably
it
is.
doesn't
I'm
go
trying to
anywhere. It
think.
gets put into a few strategic piles, and yeah.
It works its way through. So if you'd like to send anything that you would like to see in mail call, you can send that to us. Check out our addresses on our website, www.ourwyominglife.com. And maybe someday the Armchair Rancher will have mail call of his own. That'd be funny if the Armchair Rancher started getting fan mail. That would be so surreal. It'd be like I might actually become schizophrenic or something if somebody started sending the Armchair Rancher fan mail. That would be really weird. Speaking of which, the Armchair Rancher jingle goes through my mind all week. Wow. It was kind of going through my mind today, too. I was like, I need to redo that because I tried to make it as horrible as possible, and now it just bugs me.
It's bad. You can sing much better than that.
Yeah, I should redo it.
I did see, I think, from JB Weld asking if Mackenzie wants military patches. Yeah, I think so.
I'm sure she'd dig those, too. She's in the process of putting together her patch wall. We're going to work on that this summer and getting her some sort of cork board or something to put them on.
Yeah.
So definitely. Where else was I going to go with this? I don't know what I was going to say. I'm having a brain fart. Oh, well.
Okay.
You can't do that on live TV. You cannot have a brain fart. You could put kale in a dehydrator and make chips out of it. I have had kale chips. They weren't bad, but they were covered in salt. So they were like
vinegar.
salt chips with a little bit of green stuff in there. They weren't horrible, though. They
I
were
can't technically send them to people because it's not done in a commercially inspected kitchen, so they can't cross state lines.
good. True.
They'd be they have to be black market kale if they're going
Black market kale.
to cross state lines.
Is there a big market? There's a big black market kale syndicate out there that's they're just evil underground bosses that just deal in black market kale. That's pretty funny. Armchair Rancher should appear as a guest on the live stream. Now, wouldn't that be a trick?
That would be,
Could be done. Probably involve a green screen.
they'd probably be like far apart from each other.
Really quick, let me get a different shirt on.
I was watching Friends, and I haven't watched Friends for like years, but it's on Netflix, and I was looking for something just like, that doesn't require any thought process to watch. And so I turned it on, and
We require much thought process to watch.
well, no, I didn't say that
Yeah.
we did, but Phoebe's twin was in the first appearance of Phoebe's twin, and I was like, oh, she totally doesn't have a twin.
Like cutting back and forth. And then somebody
They're, like,
else's
showing,
hand
like,
comes
the back
in.
of her head and Phoebe's face, and yeah, it's funny. It's like, oh yeah.
That is funny. Okay. Who was the Armchair Rancher stuntman in the beginning? That is a trade secret. And a very dangerous one at that. So Mike is going to be like the Eddie Murphy and the Nutty. There's a movie I haven't seen in a long while. The Nutty Professor in Armchair Rancher. Yeah, no doubt. All right, so basically we've got some time here to kill. We've got about 10 minutes or so, and we'd like to take some more questions and throw some more answers your way if you'd like to play that game. I can make us some coffee, but I think I'd prefer to just make another drink, and we'll answer some questions. So. What do you got? What do you got coming up besides the farm store? Is kind of your big push right now, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've got obviously we're going to wrap up calving here before too long, and then we've got a little bit of a break before branding.
Oh, but we've got like 9 million things to do. So,
Well, I'm not saying like a break to
there's
actually
no
like take a break. It's just a break to do something else. So.
yeah, we just gotta pound away at the store. That's really just like what the next like week. I don't know like what the opening date is going to be. Like mentally I was like June 1st, and I think we'll be close to that. Yeah.
It's funny, like people are already messaging and not calling, but
There is no phone
messaging
number.
and stuff about, I want to come to the farm store this weekend, and it's like, well,
It's not open yet.
that would be good.
I would like to come to the farm store this weekend also.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it's coming along. We've got most of the paneling is all up on the inside, most of it. We've got five, just like any project, you're short. So we're 5 sheets of paneling short that we
Yeah.
have to go pick up. We've kind of been stalled out in doing that because of the weather and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So we're going to go get that done, finish up the rest of the paneling, and then it's flooring, and then a little bit of
Trim
fabrication,
and-
trim, that kind of thing.
Cover the beams, get lights, electrical outlets.
Well, they're all there. They just need to be wired
Yeah.
in. Yeah. So there's
Nick
just a
needs to
little
come
bit.
up the electrical and then, stage everything.
Mm-hmm.
Which is,
And then you got to go harvest something to put in there.
and like bake something.
And you know what's going to happen is, we're going to bring a bunch of stuff in there, and then you're going to have a bunch of empty space, and you're going to be like, I got to fill this up with some other
I
stuff.
know, it's going to be awkward in the beginning because there's not going to be a lot of stuff just because it's not produce season. So, yeah, it's going to be awkward. I don't know what I'm going to put in there in the wintertime.
You're like, I got to go to Walmart and get some carrots.
There'll be more decor. The snow appears to be gone from the forecast. It is wet and it's not super warm. We're forecasting like the 60s, which is great, like working weather.
Yeah,
but
it'll be nice to work
not
in.
like grass growing and like beet, carrot growing weather. So tomatoes, they're not going to be super happy for a while. So yeah, it is what it is. If you have not followed us on Facebook and Instagram, though, like us, our Wyoming Life on both those platforms and Twitter. And for the farm store, it's the Our Wyoming Life Farm Store on Facebook. And I post more updates about like when I'm doing stuff in the gardens or in the farm store.
Erin was in there running a nail gun,
Yeah.
and she was doing all kinds of stuff the other day.
Yeah, and so that goes on that. Not to say that the farm store stuff doesn't ever show up on the Our Wyoming Life Facebook page, but I'm trying to center it more on that social media platform. So take a like.
What?
I can't talk tonight.
I'm beginning to realize that wearing a sweatshirt was a bad idea. I'm like burning up, literally.
You said all day today you were freezing.
I know, now I'm hot. And it's got to be because all these lights. See these lights that shine on us? See, here's one right here. We'll put one in the camera. Big old lights shine on us all the time. Now I messed up my light.
Yeah, now it's
Now I look
and
like
you're
I'm
messing up my
in a
light.
horror movie. There we go. So, what?
So close to your face.
It is. How's that? Is that better? Yeah. All right.
Did we lose any calves in the storm?
No, we did not. Luckily, the biggest problem that I had in the storm was calves that were getting lost from their moms. That's where that thermal imager. By the way, really quick, the way I did the update, where I didn't narrate it at all, I got mixed reviews on that. Some people thought it was cool because obviously when I'm out there, it's quiet. I'm by myself. It's the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I don't listen to music most of the time, but having the music playing was something different. I didn't narrate it. There was a few people who said, I'm wondering what's going through your mind as you're doing this and that kind of thing. So, let me know what you thought about that.
You didn't narrate it though because
I didn't narrate it because Lincoln was sitting right next to me, so
Yeah.
I couldn't cut the
I totally
narration.
just like blame you though because you took a nap yesterday afternoon and you were like, Lincoln, do you want to come watch TV with me? And like 8 minutes later, that kid is like snuggled up in a blanket burrito and just like
Passed out.
snoozing away for like 3 hours. And I was like, you're going to regret that because you didn't fall asleep yet. And I was like, that's a bad decision. And it was. Lincoln was up till like midnight last night.
So the night of the storm, I had roughly, I don't know, an hour and a half of sleep, something like that the night of the storm. Got up that morning, obviously. That's the stuff you guys all saw. By that afternoon, I came in and I took like a 3-hour nap. And, well, I didn't sleep that long. I slept maybe a couple hours. And then I was up until 1 a.m. putting the update video together. Then I slept for another 3 hours. And I was up at 5, and now here we are.
Yeah.
So it's been a long few days. These kind of days eventually will catch up to me. I'll have Erin knows this. I'll have like a crash day where it's just like I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, if we get to bed tonight at a decent time, like we still need a podcast, but
Yeah, we still need to do a podcast. We do that in the morning
yeah,
if we really wanted
we have
to.
a million things to do in the morning, though, including make a trip to Home Depot.
Yeah, exactly. Have you guys? William asked if we've gotten the meat back from the pigs. We have.
It's great.
The freezers are full. We actually had sausages made this year.
We had bratwurst.
Bratwurst
Italian
and Cajun
sausage.
sausage, and that's kind of cool stuff. And we're working on a sausage that's actually Erin's grandpa's recipe, where we can actually have our Wyoming Life sausage. That's a recipe that's handed down
I have
through
to
your
make
family.
it and measure.
Yeah, we have to figure that out. But that's something else that we're working on too. And of course, all this stuff will be available in the store. If you ever happen to make it up this way, you're more than welcome to stop by. And maybe someday we can figure out how to ship it without costing an arm and a leg too. So and
until
take
now-
up a ton of our time. 'cause
Yeah,
that's
so-
another thing too.
Yeah, we get asked about shipping all the time. We've looked into it more than we did in the beginning, and it's still just like not feasible. And it's very time consuming to pack meat and make it to town and get it shipped on time. And yeah, for now it's just not a risk that we're willing to take because there will be loss and we will lose money. That's just a reality. Like something will happen and UPS will screw it up. And so yeah, for now you're just gonna have to come to the farm store, unfortunately. We hope maybe at some point there can be a different solution to that. But we'll have beef jerky soon. I need to call Sturgis tomorrow and maybe get something scheduled for steers. So yeah, we'll do what we can. But the farm store is going to be open Tuesday through Friday.
Right.
I don't know what time yet.
You kind of did a poll on
I did a
Facebook,
poll, yeah. I mean, I think everybody I asked if I should open at 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 o'clock, and we're going to close at 6. Everybody said 2 o'clock. I think what we'll do is we'll open at 2 and we'll see how it goes. And if nobody comes between 2 and 3 o'clock, then we will open at 3.
Exactly.
So, yeah, and we'll just, the more successful that the farm store is and the more sales we make, then we can hire somebody. But, I'm going to hire somebody and pay them a fair wage because I believe in that you should be paid a fair wage. And they need to be knowledgeable about my products and how we raise our animals and grow our produce. And so it can't just be anybody. There'll be some education before they can run the store, but I need to be able to pay somebody. So until then, I have to take care of gardens, family, make videos, and run a store.
Tim asked about bees in the high tunnels and also about CO2 if that's required in the tunnels. We haven't. No, CO2 has never been.
I mean,
an
I
issue.
open them, and they're not airtight or anything. Even in the wintertime when they're sealed up, like crops grow just fine.
Mm-hmm. And bees, we keep a beehive usually pretty close by.
And they don't really. I don't really like to see the bees in the tunnels because they have a hard time getting out, and they don't really go in there.
They don't like it. There's something about
they don't like it.
They can't see in there and stuff.
The only time they really go in there is in the fall because it's warm, and I think they can feel that heat, because it does like radiate heat, and so they go in there a lot in the fall, like when the sides are open and stuff, or the doors are open, and then they'll get stuck. And it seems like a lot of bees die, but when there's 50,000 in a hive, it's really an insignificant amount. I mean, I don't want any bee to die.
I did see bees out moving today. There's 300 and some odd hives that are parked out here on the ranch right now. 12 million bees, and went by today, and they were up and moving a little bit when the sun was shining. So it was nice to see them up and moving and after the storm.
Yeah. Dennis has been moving a few boxes out of time, but it is muddy. It is so muddy everywhere. Like you can't. I mean, he hasn't put our boxes where they go.
No, and I don't think he can even get into that field. So, another super chat from JB Weld, man. What is the most Wyoming meal you can think of? New York has pizza, but what's the go-to cuisine in your neck of the woods? Mexican? I really don't know. I would say Rocky Mountain oysters.
I've
you
never.
won't touch those.
I've never eaten a Rocky Mountain oyster in my life. Chicken fried steak.
Chicken fried steak is pretty straight up Wyoming. I mean, and a steak in general.
Steak in general, or a burger.
I mean, if I'm gonna go have something, if I'm gonna have a steak, I'm gonna have a good steak, a tenderloin or something like that. Chicken fried steak, usually you can get here that's the size of a plate. What are you laughing at now?
Jackalope flank steak.
Jackalope flank. Not much flank on a jackalope. I actually, when I was in Indiana, I learned about rabbit. There was in that video. There was much more about rabbit meat that I learned, and I learned about how to measure how much meat a rabbit has, and kinds of. I just couldn't get past that. I was like, I'm petting a rabbit. What are you doing?
Well, I was going to ask you how much meat.
Well, this one has no meat on him. But yeah, you feel. This is what Caitlin taught me from Indiana, and she was an FFA. You feel down the back side, and then basically you want to feel a rabbit that's smooth all the way across. You don't feel any there's like what's wrong with you?
Is he smooth?
Well, this one is, yes, because he's pretty much done for.
Still every time I touch
but like the one that
he's
that I felt that was real, this one is shedding. You could feel where the meat had changed texture or whatnot. So yeah, that's great.
I still every time I have to touch him. I think of when we took it out of the box and Mackenzie's like, oh, he still probably has fleas.
He probably still has fleas, yeah.
I would agree with that. That's the first taxidermy that I've ever owned.
I kind of want to get an owl, but I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if that's legal to have an owl. I thought it'd be cool to have an owl back here.
Well, why don't we just put a cow back there?
They won't fit.
A miniature cow.
No, like an owl is a lot smaller than a cow. You're a goofball.
We call the channel Owl.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really make sense. Like,
it's our Wyoming Life, OWL.
Well, I know, but we don't have, we have owls, but it's not like we're an owl ranch.
Could be.
That'd be a neat job.
I did save an owl one time that was wrapped up in a fence.
Yeah.
I saved a barn owl.
And we put at
And he
barn
was
owl.
not grateful at all. He was
was
mad.
me.
He was mad. And I was trying to take, I don't know what he had done, but he tried to fly through a barbed wire fence, got
Yeah.
himself all tangled up.
He was probably chasing a jackalope.
Probably. And I'm trying to get him out, and boy, he was mad at me. I had to go get welding gloves.
Oh yeah.
And I had the welding gloves on, and I'm trying to finagle him out of this fence. Boy, he was mad at me. Very mad. I don't think I've ever had an owl that mad at me.
Well, what would they?
I don't know. you cut them off in traffic, and they're like, hey!
I mean, you don't even hardly ever see them. I mean, like, we had one that lived in a tree for a while and, like, would stare at me with its creepy backwards head. But,
Oh, we had that. Remember that one owl that we had that used to sit on the fence outside our bedroom?
Yeah.
And he would sit there and he would
in the middle
hoot.
of the night?
And I would get up in the middle of the night and I go chase him away because he would keep me up all night. So I go chase him away. And then I go back and lay down, and 2 minutes later he would come back and land right there, and hoot, hoot, right outside our window. Oh my gosh, that he just knew he was on my nerves. So maybe I made him. Maybe it was the same owl.
We
He
haven't
might
had
have just
an
been
owl
mad at
for
me.
years, actually.
good.
Not one that, like, has hung out by the house and hooted at
No, I've
night.
had him in the barn here and there, but yeah.
Not a noisy one.
We did
We
talk,
don't really have any trees.
we did talk about doing plush owls at one point, and also plush
Cows.
little cows. We just never got around to doing it because it's one of the 9 million things that we don't have
I
time
mean,
to do.
reality is it's not going to happen this summer. So maybe next fall we'll buy some new merchandise. There is merchandise on our WyomingLife.com, and there's stuff on sale too, because we need to clear out some stuff before we get some new stuff.
So we have some stuff that has the old logo on it
Yep.
still. So we're trying to, we've got that on sale and going out the door so that we can get new hats and stuff like
Yeah.
that made with the new logo. So that's
Reality
kind of
is
fun
like we'll get new merchandise as you guys buy merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
So if it sits, it makes it kind of hard to buy new stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean that's just the reality. So
Exactly.
yeah, check out our website. There's stuff on sale.
The other thing
These
that
really great whiskey glasses
oh yeah,
are on sale.
they are.
You can put Malibu in them, or soda, whatever you drink.
Hey, Fiona C is here. Hey, Fiona, how are you? I don't think I've ever seen you on a live stream before, and if you have, you never spoke up, so you must be a lurker.
I'm a lurker. It's cool. Ryan O. And he has asked this question a lot, and we haven't gotten to it. Any advice for an aspiring first generation rancher?
I mean, technically, that's what we are.
Yeah. We came into an established ranch, but
We didn't know jack when we
Yeah.
got here. That's the biggest thing, is being able to keep your mind open enough to absorb as much information that you can. And as crazy as it seems, like, this is kind of weird, but like stuff that when Gilbert was alive, when we first came here to the ranch, and stuff that Gilbert would have me do that I thought was the dumbest stuff in the world, and I had much better ways to do it, and I did that for my way for a while, and now I find myself going back to doing it the way that Gilbert did it. Just because it was just, for some
Yeah.
reason, that makes more sense now.
'Cause you're old.
Because I'm old. That might have something.
yeah,
to
I
do
mean,
with
I
it,
think
too.
learn. Obviously, you got to ask questions. You gotta work hard and scale up as you can afford it. I wouldn't necessarily go into a lot of debt.
Yeah, that's a big
That's-
thing too.
yeah.
But yeah, being prepared to learn as much as possible would be my
I
advice.
have rabbit hair on my nose.
You gonna
Dead rabbit.
sneeze again and blow
Dead-
everybody's eardrums out.
Dead jackalope hair on my face. That's awesome. Sanitary too.
Exactly. All right, so yeah, we're running.
Seriously, taxidermy kind of creeps me out.
Who?
Taxidermy.
Oh, well, now I have rabbit hair on my face.
See, it's like,
You're the one that got him out. Usually he just sits over there and doesn't
we
shed.
were like talking about rabbits, and we had one handy, and like,
He would be insulted if you,
you
called
know,
him
if
a
somebody's
rabbit.
like,
He's not a rabbit.
oh, he's a jackalope. They're cousins. If someone's like, how much tenderloin is on a cow? It's not like I can whip one of those out. I had a unique opportunity.
We could I've tried to convince Erin into letting me have a bottle calf up here for a
They
live
will
stream.
pee.
She won't let me do it.
They literally go to the bathroom all the time.
They do. They pee a lot. Maybe a diaper. We put a diaper on a calf. We cut a hole out for the tail and pull it down. I don't know. I would love to have a live stream with a calf in it, and eventually we will, because we'll live stream branding. So we'll have lots of calves in there, and hopefully we can get that 360 camera by the time we have branding, because I think that'd be super cool to be able to live stream 360 high quality during branding.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
Probably not, because the darn thing costs a lot of money. So unless unless GoPro wants to, let us borrow one, which is what I'm working on, it ain't gonna happen. So anyway,
Spray the jackalope with hairspray. Good idea, Lori.
then he'll stink.
He smells good now.
Okay, why don't they stuff taxidermy with like potpourri?
I don't know.
That's like, man, it smells wonderful in here. That's the rabbit.
He's not a rabbit.
Oh yeah, jackrabbit.
Jackrabbit. He's not a jackrabbit.
He's part jackrabbit. He's a jackalope. He's a something. Pain is what he is.
All right, I think it's time to go. Make sure your bowls are in.
Yeah, that's what I got to go do. I'm actually going to leave here. Erin's going to go round up kids, and I'm going to go fix fence. So if you happen to be driving down the highway, be sure to give me a little honk. In fact, I told the highway patrolman, I said, if you have Wi-Fi in your car, go watch the live stream. So maybe he'll come back down and help me fix fence. That would be a good life lesson for him.
Fiona had a show bowl that we took into a ballroom. Somebody can improve that comment. With no diaper. Ooh, you're brave, Fiona.
That would be fun, though. See, I can tell you, I can have a calf up here. You can have a duck. I'll let you have a duck in the live stream.
They poop all the time.
Yeah, but you hold it, so it just poops on you. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with us this evening. We do have more coming up, obviously. Sunday, we've got a brand new video coming out. I have no idea what that video is going to be about, but we'll see what happens between now and then. And
we're going to try and dry out, like bring back the sun, and a breeze would be okay.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So as we sign off, until next time, I'd like to leave you with the words of my wise Uncle Farley. You remember Uncle Farley?
Oh, yeah.
Who often told me it is better to smile with only one lip than to smile with no lips at all. Have a great week, and thanks for joining us. What is wrong with you?
How do you smile with one lip?
You sneer. That's a sneer. Smile with one lip is a sneer.
Do it.
Like an Elvis thing.
Like Elvis.
All right, guys. Take it easy, and we'll see you next time on Our Wyoming Life.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of Ranch Talk Live. Please subscribe and join us as we continue to explore the ranch life and escape the ordinary. Special thanks to our moderators and the members of the Barn Owls, our special advisory group that helps us behind the scenes. If you'd like more from the ranch, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram, as well as on our weekly podcast, Beyond the Ranch, available wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Don't forget to check out All Things Agriculture, a special Facebook group where you can ask questions and learn about agriculture all over the world. Until we see you again on Sunday, have a great week, and thanks for joining us in our Wyoming Life.